Dude here, coming on another occasion of Dude After Dark, and wait for people to come in the room and all sides of good stuff like that there. Usual goodness, and of course we are here as my standard 5 minutes lead in, so hopefully there's going to be people showing up and doing good stuff like that there. I gotta tell you right off the bat, some of the funniest stuff that you ever seem to find would be something along the lines of, well, Facebook policy in motion. Is it really anything that truly makes any sense for the judgment on what they say is legit? So when Facebook does stuff, does it really kind of one of those legit things where well, you're going to get judged to see? If you're on Facebook, and you're doing something, could it be said that you're doing something that's just societally, invasively abusive, insulting to check block under which particular protected class would be offended? Okay, all right, sorry. I don't want to offend anybody. I would never, ever want to offend anyone, especially on Facebook. I don't want to offend anybody. Tally Shotgun, what's good? Talk about us, dude. Not much, brother. Not much. It's standard day. Patriot Fever here. Patriot Fever here is all little Patriots reporting. Oh, how nice. We have a full accompaniment of all the Patriot Fever guys. And potentially girls. But yeah, we have all the Patriot Fever people. So good stuff like that there. So it gets Beetlejuice. Get things going on and doing stuff the way it should. And right off the bat, I got to touch on this. I know this is potentially that third rail on, how do I say? Would it be, well... Yeah, it is. It's going to be... Yeah, it's going to be one of those invasive societal woke moments where you hear the baby Schutzstaffel, not even Waffen-SS, but the Schutzstaffel, brown shirt Allgemein. Okay, if you guys know anything about the structure of the Schutzstaffel, of course, you had the Luftwaffe, you had the Heer, which was the Standard Army, you had the Allgemein, and then finally you had the Allgemein. Now, if you look up the phrase Allgemein in German, it just means like everyman, standard worker, basically just, guy. Now, the Allgemein were the bully boys / prison guards, lowest rung scut work pieces of I got this one sound guy. Lowest rung pieces of yeah, that was them. They were just those guys. Yeah, they were just the lowest rung of the SS elite forces. You could say that pretty much they were the
you dick.
Yeah, those guys. They were...
Retard alert, class.
Yeah, they were the bottom rung butt plugs of the SS troops in the German Nazi regime. Now, all the things that they were doing was, those were the guys who were around for Kristallnacht. Now, if you know what Kristallnacht was, it translates from German as Night of the Broken Glass. That was the night that they went through, and they proceeded to ruin Jewish businesses and attempt to make the Juden, or Jews, remove themselves from normal society because they would be so chastened with being Jewish and made to feel that they were not components therein of normal German society. Pretty much they should just remove themselves from normal German society, or they were going to help them out by sending them to the death camps. That came later, but close, not too far after that. Anyway, so looking at the latest iteration of the Schutzstaffel Allgemein, not even Waffen. The Waffen actually had moments of like great heroism, and they were the badasses. They were definitely the badasses of the German Nazi regime. I mean, I have some respect for them. Mostly respect for the Panzer Corps. Of that, I really, truly respect of all those guys. I truly respect Erwin Rommel on more than a few occasions. I'm not killing my guys for your stupid cause. I'm going to fight for the fatherland. I'm not fighting for you. Anyway, so what these buttholes are doing now in modern iteration is you have the reconciliation of racial strife by removing the Aunt Jemima figure from the Aunt Jemima pancake mix and pancake syrup. Now, did I ever really look over there and go, oh, yeah, that's a mammy. Yeah, that's like somebody we have to look down upon because, it's a black chick being shown at times of slavery. And, we now have to see her with like less than great rapport of recognition of, the notoriety of what she has. Well, the dirty little secret is that was a real person, okay? Anybody that doesn't know the facts of it, the Aunt Jemima character was actually depicted by a model by the name of Anna Short Harrington. Now, she worked for Quaker Oats for like 20 years, going around and demonstrating that pancake mix and glad handing and putting on the show, and generally putting on a show for Quaker Oats saying, hey, I'm the face of the Aunt Jemima pancake brand, blah, 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 blah. I don't know if they actually refer to her as Aunt Jemima, but I don't think she was grossly offended by it. I think she saw it as like society's evolution therein of, we've moved beyond slavery. We're now giving recognition to this person of color who now can be the fixture of saying, this is a good product. This is a reason why you should buy this product is because this lady's cooking it. It's good stuff. Well, anybody who knows food knows if you find like the old elderly black woman cooking in the kitchen, you're going to get some awesome chow right off the bat. If it's like some Cajun setup or if it's going to be some soul food setup, I guarantee you're going to get food that takes you around the planet and knocks your socks off because that lady has been there, done that, and just has it down to us. It is now going to be known as Pearl Milling Company with this little stupid icon as opposed to, Aunt Jemima on the packaging and what have you. Now, I'm not a huge pancake person. Usually if I'm eating maple syrup, I eat maple syrup. I don't eat like, this blended corn syrup crap that they call, like basically the kind of crud that they put on the shelves in the grocery stores. It's kind of that just disreputable dreck that they say it's table syrup. I want to eat maple syrup. I want to eat the real deal. Something that came out of the tree, hopefully from Canada, but I want to eat the real stuff. So what they've done is they removed her image from the packaging and they replaced it with this Pearl Milling Company. And of course, I went on the website. There's actually an AuntJemima.com, which I'm sure that URL is going to be locked into perpetuity, but it's now going to be some kind of foofy thing where they change it up and they make it so it says, we've decided in our infinite wisdom that Aunt Jemima is so discompassionate and not nice that we're removing this from our website as well. This is merely a holder page to redirect you to the Pearl Milling Company page. Well, let me go to the other page that I was looking at on the AuntJemima.com. Quote, and this is posted up, no date, but just an open phrasing therein and read it at your leisure. But why is Aunt Jemima removing the image from the packaging and changing its name? Well, first off, Aunt Jemima is not doing jack squat because Aunt Jemima is not having any form of control. The woman's been dead for, she died at age 56, okay? She's been dead a long time. She has no control of it whatsoever. As a matter of fact, looking up on Newsweek.com, there's actually a story from Newsweek posted up on, posting up on June 20 last year. And it is the great-grandson of the most recent woman to appear in the boxes and bottles of Aunt Jemima products is angry that Quaker grandmother, Anna Short Harrington, began appearing on the pancake mix and syrup bottles for the Aunt Jemima brand in 1935. And she was discovered by Quaker Oats, the company which owns Aunt Jemima Aunt Jemima. Harrington, Evans said, toured the country as the brand's representative and served pancakes as part of those duties for 2 decades. So she was basically an employee at Quaker Oats. She worked at Quaker Oats for 20 years. She traveled all the way to the United States and Canada making pancakes as Aunt Jemima for them, the 66-year-old Marine Corps veteran told Patch Chicago. This woman served all those people, and it was after slavery. She worked as Aunt Jemima. That was her job. How do you think I feel as a black man sitting here telling you that my family history they're trying to erase? Evans added to Harrington from the products removing Harrington from the products is, quote, an injustice for me and my family. This is part of my history. So then it goes on, like, defending Quaker Oats and why they decided to do this and all the rest of this fun stuff. But anyway, looking on the Aunt Jemima website, why is Aunt Jemima removing the image from the packaging and changing its name? We are committed to progress. Now, I'm going to just let that one sit for a second here. Committed to progress. You do know that Quaker Oats is owned by, PepsiCo. Pepsi has a long history of being ragingly, hugely progressive. I mean, ragingly progressive. Let me pause here for a second. Look at the room. Right now, getting nerd. Plug of the Nazi enema. Oh, jeez, my plug of the Nazi enema. Patriot fever. Let's see. Going back and forth. So I can fill an Aunt Jemima bottle with veg oil now, or should I stick with used motor oil? Patriot fever, what I would do is I would take that Aunt Jemima bottle and I would get it clean. I would shellac the sticker so it can't maple syrup, put that in the bottle and use that in its place, because now what you're doing is you're honoring Aunt Jemima and you're actually eating something that's not too terribly unhealthful, as like that gack they put out, which they say is table syrup. Yuck. Just yuck. Little Patriot 3's asking for pancakes. Sorry, dude. Only if that would, so you can thank them. Okay, that's funny. Okay, so anyway, go back here to the Aunt Jemima website yet again. We're committed to progress, which includes both removing the image of Aunt Jemima and changing our name. How is that progress to remove the notoriety of somebody who came out of potentially the worst of times and did a positive image for the Black community, uniting everybody? And I've said this generically to everybody. There's two things that everybody can agree upon: food and music. That's the two uniters of any basis of any human form of interaction on the planet: food and music. Everybody can get behind that. That is the great uniter. There is no politics involved there. There is no religion involved there. Obviously, there probably shouldn't be any sex involved there, but stuff happens. But anyway, between food and music, that is a great uniter. And you can talk to anybody in any culture, and everybody has some unique form of food that everybody's like, oh yeah, that's out of the park, man. That is absolutely the stuff. So going back to the website yet again, Aunt Jemima has existed for more than 130 years, and we acknowledge that our origins were based in a racial stereotype. Really? How about it was a Black woman who happened to be dressed for the time period, portraying herself as a freed Black woman? Oh, I don't know. She looked more than a bit like Harriet Tubman, Underground Railroad, and she kind of looked more than just a little bit like Aunt Jemima. Just a little bit. Bandana, kind of like the slouchy house clothes and the apron and whatnot, so she didn't really draw attention. A freedom fighter. This is what you're having problems with. A freedom fighter making sure that her own race can be going to freedom. You don't want to depict this. I would love to take them into a courtroom and play lawyer, man. I really, really would. Us Jews in a courtroom is like, we're like rabid pit bulls. Anyway, while work has been done over the years to evolve our brand in a manner intended to be appropriate, respectful, we realize these changes are not enough. Oh, I don't know, probably because BLM was going, we want some money. Hello, Quaker Oats, you're depicting something Black. We happen to be Black. We want money. Hello. Yeah. PepsiCo was built on the foundation that we thrive because of our diversity. Well, I would change that around and say perversity, but that's neither here nor there. And when we embrace the full spectrum of humanity, we succeed together. How's it embracing humanity in the full spectrum when you depict somebody as something other than from their origins, showing them doing something positive and moving forward in their society? Don't really see that. We succeed together. Our changes are in line with PepsiCo's journey towards racial equality, and the evolution will help carry the 130-year-old brand into the future. Don't bet on it. don't bet on it. You're going to disenfranchise more people than you're ever going to suck up to on this one. And trust me, Pepsi, there's a whole bunch of other pancake brands out there. Not everybody goes, oh my word, I have to eat this one brand because there's a black chick on the box. That's the one I gotta have. Man, that pancake mix is so much better than this other pancake mix because it's got a black chick on it. That's the one. Oh, wait a minute. They took the black chick. Want to really, truly get hardcore and, just completely blowing you out of the water? It's not the best pancake mix. It really isn't, okay? Jack being probably in line with it. Bisquick is probably even better. There's like a bunch of different brands that have been around as long, if not longer, than Aunt Jemima and Quaker Oats making the suck up notion to say, oh, we don't want to offend anybody. We're going to change things around. Yeah. Wait. So then they further attempt to defend their weak position. These initiatives comprise a holistic effort for PepsiCo to walk the walk. Oh God. This is a hard read, folks. These initiatives comprise a holistic effort for PepsiCo to walk the talk of a leading corporation and help address the need for systemic change. Okay, progressivism, change. You guys are really channeling the woke. Hang on, I got this one, sound guy. These guys are really channeling the woke. Oh man, definitely the woke. It is woke. The likes and depths of just absolutely unabashed. I really want to curse here, but the unabashedly amount of just racially motivated, and all the times that you guys put out this bull. Yes, we all can see it for what it is because right now, by changing this package around, there's a bunch of people that are just going to go, I'm not eating this stuff anymore. So
it was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
Yeah. Yes, that's pretty much it right there. Okay. Okay. Let's just break this down really quick and easy for you. They're PepsiCo / Aunt Jemima / Pearl, what is it now? Milling Company or whatever the heck they're calling it now. What are they calling it now? Hang on a second. Pearl Milling Company. You got a bad situation here because the black component of the United States is like 14%. There's a whole bunch of people that probably don't even eat your pancake mix. And now by doing this, you're not going to make friends with a bunch of people that are going to go, oh, I suddenly have to start eating pancakes because they're socially woke. Not going to happen. And it's really disingenuous for you guys to do this thing. Trying to suck up to black culture. It's obvious, okay? You guys are trying to suck up the black culture because you're probably trying to do the whole avoid Jesse Jackson ambulance chaser, come and get us kind of a thing. It's obvious, okay? You guys are blatantly obvious in this little game that you're playing, trying to say that, oh, we're so much less racist than these other companies who put, obvious characters. If you want to get down and dirty, I have never heard an Irish person bitching about, oh, look at that leprechaun in the box. Oh, it's so insulting. Look at that. There's a leprechaun in the box. Oh, we Irish are so offended. Lucky Charms. Screw you. You never hear that, folks, because the Irish aren't, I got this one, sound guy. The Irish are not, they're not. No, they are not a bunch of, no. The Irish look at that and they go, that's kind of funny. It looks like a stupid leprechaun, too. It's not even like the right kind of color of clothing. And they move on. It's not like they're stressed out about their character. I'm not saying the black culture is weak in their character, but guys, nut up or shut up, okay? If you're so offended by somebody seeing an image from somebody that did something positive in your community, you might have to have a little bit of self-introspection on that one. Just a bit, okay? But I'm not even grossly offended in the slightest because, you know what? I really don't eat that crap. So you know what? PepsiCo, give you the V's. I'd rather give you something else, but I'm going to give you the V's. Let's see. Scrolly. Oh, wow, man. You guys are really, really active in the room. Stuffed cabbage came from the Polish. Oh, man. Yum. And yeah, NJ looked like a big finger to the segregationists. Exactly, dude. She was the mark of that chick making good stuff for everybody. That's cool stuff, in my opinion, man. It actually was a very nice image as well. It was respectful. It was saying, hey, man, I'm making something cool. I'm giving of myself. Enjoy. That was the image you were trying to portray. You did it. You killed it. It's out of here. You're not going to get it back, all right? Abram says the Costco maple syrup is surprisingly good and made in the States, so I don't have to give money to the Frostback tax system. I'm not sending that money to the Canuckastanis. Oh, man. Pepsi can put four plus syllables together. I'm moderately impressed. Well, dude, they probably weren't the ones that copywrote that. That was probably like a professional, effective writer seeking to reach neutrality and injustice being justified by being progressive, inclusive, racially sensitive, and yuck. I've only got to say 400 years of slavery. I ain't got 6,000 years of slavery. We Jews don't act. Oh, my. Patriot Fever's laughing at me, swinging missionary. Yes. Lottie, I have to put out my Irish accents. Sometimes I can fake it. It was funny too. I was talking to one of my Aussie friends earlier, and he's like, "Mate, you really got the Irish accent down better than the Aussie." I was like, "Yeah, no, I can't really do the R like you guys do. It's like you guys are like pirates. You know, we say like ER, and you say R. Like like if you were to say like crawler, they say crawler." Crawler. Like almost like you're talking to like a French pastry. It's like, get it, crawler. I love accents. It's just fun. It's oh, dude. That is funny though. One of my great aunts, she actually was like full Irish. She like you heard the name Patrick. Her name was Petrick. So yeah, she was full Irish. And I remember even as a little kid. Do not mess with this lady. She will be your undoing. She is formidable. She was. Her nickname was Doozy because she was one. I forget when she passed along, but that was the lady not to jack with. She was extra feisty, like extra feisty, like Mrs. Doubtfire, like with attitude feisty. Yes. Yeah, that was definitely my great aunt doozy, man. She was a doozy. Trust me. Oh, great grandmother. No, great grandmother. That's what she was. She was my great grandmother. That's what she was. I believe. I have to look that up again. It's been a while since I looked at the family tree, but yeah, I think it was my dad's mom's mom. But yeah, she is a formidable lady. Oof, oof. Like don't do it or you're gonna get it, and she ain't playing. Like she is gnarly. I don't know if you guys caught this one or not. And I really don't want to dog on the particular month in question here, but it happens to be this month. And this month happens to be, how do I say this without saying this? A particular color of the spectrum that is darker than gray and not quite white. Yeah, that was okay. That's probably about the easiest way to say it. So that History Month, and I'm not going to say the phrase. So that History Month is obviously the month now in question. Well, Google, in their infinite wisdom, posted up, and it's on the actual Google site itself. So if you go to Google and you basically Google.com, boop, there's a little tab down there, and it is if you're looking for that History Month. Stores near you. And if you click on it, bam, Google Maps pops up and gives you all the locations, all the local that History Month's purveyors who happen to be of that particular race. I'm not going to give them any notoriety. I'm really not. I'm not going to say one way or the other who anybody is, because it's just, I'll simply say who I am. So I'm not going to give anybody any notoriety that doesn't deserve it, simply because it's just, I find it disgusting in the first place that somebody had to go out of the way to say, oh yeah, these guys deserve special accreditation and more recognition than anybody else because, well, they've suffered so hard in this country for 400 years. Dude, did you even really figure out how hard it was for the people that came here initially? And I'm not talking of anybody of any particular race. I'm talking about anybody that came here at first. The place kind of sucked. They almost died in the first 3 to 5 years. Sucked. Everybody had it bad back then. So anyway, Google in their infinite wisdom decided they were going to make it that History Month with the click on it to find all the local stores. Those in Google reviews, use one of my lesser used Gmail accounts and just ravage them with 1-star ratings saying, I am not going to partake of this suck up racial stereotypical, glad handing of accreditation to say that somebody is more valuable than somebody else simply by the level of melanin upon their skin, and to simply say that they are of a culture of which they are not, because if you're born here, you're not from anywhere else, but you're from here. Now, those family members that I say are obviously of other nationality, that's because they were born in other places. Like my 2 grandparents on my mom's side. One was born in Austria, one was born in Hungary. They're Hungarian and Austrian Americans, legitimately, because they were born there and came here. So they deserve the accreditation of saying that they can be hyphenated. Somebody that's born here is not anything but an American hyphen American. I hate to tell you, dude, you're not going to qualify as anything but that. And if you happen to go back to the motherland and go, yeah, I'm a blah, 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 they're going to look at you and go, no, you're not, man. You're not even born here. Go away. Not bad Indian accent, but, they're going to say, dude, you're not even born here. Go away. You do not deserve the accreditation. Now, humorously enough, and I can use the phrase here because it is appropriate, one of my friends, the best man at my wedding, and one of my best friends is truly an African American, was born in South Africa in Johannesburg and came here, married an American, emigrated, obviously got a citizenship. So now he has dual citizenship, but not with SA any longer. He actually lost and gave up that citizenship and became an Austrian citizen because the way that South Africans tend to be going is oh yeah, send us money because you're a South. It's no, I'm not going to send you a dime, man. You guys are just you're jerks and your government sucks now. I'm not dealing with you. And so anyway, you could say generically or correctly that he is truly have a conversation. You say, yeah, here's my buddy here. It's the African American, and it's a white guy, and they're like, what? It's yeah, man, I was born here, and they're going to go, what? So it's like one of those twist of the phrases that really is like a redefinition of a false assertion from the Illuminati, college guys, call it what you will, is somebody has that birthright. Yeah, they truly are an African American, no matter what their skin tone happens to be. It's where they are from. But one of the other ones I heard too was also, good old phrase back years and years ago is John Wayne did, the whole speechifying thing. And he's like, a hyphenated American is less than American because he's not fully American. Well, if you're giving notoriety to your birthplace, I tend to think that is something that shows where you're from, but you've now immigrated here. If you're from here and you're saying that you're something hyphenated, you're being false. You're being false in your assertions. And in the process of being false in your assertions, you are misrepresenting that which you possibly could be, because you're relying on somebody else's previous notion to describe you as a split personality. And those people that do these things, great, it's your own personal thing. I mean, have a blast doing it, but it's not correct definitions. And you know what? Words mean things. They really, truly do. When you define something as something, it has a definitive purpose in its definition. It's not going to be like, oh, well, this phrase now means something else nowadays. Well, if you describe somebody as woke, well, are they really awake? No, I tend to think they were asleep at the switch, and you're basically saying that they're awoke. They probably woke with a start and went to the wrong way. That's just me. Let me see what people say in the room here. Dang, I'm late. Donnie C, appreciate you coming by anyway, brother. Multicolored, nice words mean things unless you're a liberal. Dude, that's the biggest problem, Patriot Fever, is the fact that there is no good grounding in liberalism. Like that, you can, my opinion. Excuse me one second. And it showed a tweet from him where he was like, I'm 99% sure that I'm not going to back Biden or Kamala because they this, that, and the other thing. And he proceeded in a chapter and verse of everything that they sucked at. And he was actually pretty honest about it. And then he shows later on where he's like, oh, Kamala is such an amazing person. We could truly back her. And Biden is blah, blah, blah. You know what? I got to censor myself, folks. I did it again. I did not need to refer to him like that. Oh, man. I really should have beeped myself out. I should have beeped myself out, okay? If you're talking about... That's right. You cannot say Joe with the mixed with the, you know, the other word of Biden, okay? That is not his name. You're talking about... That's right. And camel toe horizontal, okay? So, and camel toe horizontal. I really slipped up on that one, okay? So anyway, speaking on these two, the guy's like, oh, they're so amazing. They're so this, that. And he's like, you can almost hear him golf clapping as he's doing this second tweet. It was the most vapid, fake, just hypocritical assertion. It has been my misfortune to ever see like one right next to the other, showing the complete disparity of this person's moral compass, just not even being in existence. Slavic, Nordic, Germanic, and American Aboriginal. If I am smiling, you might want to be worried. Wow. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Let's see. Scrolly. I don't know if you guys know about this one or not, but I caught last week or something, and I made a snarky comment about Indo. Okay, that's what I can do. Here we go. That's definitely one I can do. We're talking about Indo. A second here. Me find the appropriate sound effect. No, it's not that one, sound guy. No. No, it's not that one either. No. I gotta find the appropriate one, okay? Oh, here we go. We're talking about Indo. Yes, Indo that. And I said, blank as in F blank, the Indo. No, dude, no, wrong way. Not that one. Hang on. Not that one. Like everything went screwy there for a sec. Okay, I'm talking about the Indo blank, the Indo. Yes, blank the Indo that. And so Facebook gave me a 3-day, and they're like, if you don't like this judgment, you can contest it. Well, I did contest it. And let's just say I told them, I told them, you guys, you just, you bunch of guys just. Yeah, that, exactly. That's what I told him. Something exactly like that. It was like, you guys just. Yeah, that was exactly what I told him. Something along the lines of that. You guys just pretty much can just take it, stuff it, and, but.
But I pooped from there.
No, that was not it, sound guy. No, that was not it, okay? No, I was not trying to tell them that. Really not trying to tell them that.
Death by snoo.
I really was not trying to tell them that. That one, not at all. But then I might have told them to, that one I think I was telling them. So anyway, at that point they said, well, you were snarky. We're going to teach you a lesson. And I went from 3 days to 7 days. And at that point, I was laughing at him because I'm like, really? That's your best. You're going to knock me from a 3-day through a 7-day to go, bad dude. Bad dude. That'll teach you. Doesn't work. Sorry, doesn't work on me. If anything, I just start posting up more stuff on YouTube and I just move on, man. There's a whole bunch more internet than simply just, playing with the fudge packery on Facebook. And the other thing I thought was hilarious too is there's a picture I posted up, and it was in a private group. It's in a hidden private group at that. I mean, there's maybe 10 people in this group, and we're it's like basically a buddy group. It's like if you want to really know this, the dirty little secret, it's pretty much like where the around the cabin guys go to basically show each other obnoxious things on the internet that we don't want to put publicly. That's about the easiest way to describe it. Anyway, I post up a picture of this guy who is guy with a dad bod. So nothing really that extreme. But dude is sitting there and with his head back with this orgasmic expression, he's twisting his nipples. So it's a guy twisting his own nipples in a picture going, kind of like that. It's a goofball picture. It really doesn't show anything. And Facebook is that shows nudity or unacceptable subject matter. And so if it was in my own recognition of things, I would just say, okay, well, I'm going to do it this time. I'll just delete the picture. Well, they wouldn't even allow me to delete the picture. So at this point, it was do you wish to contest it? I'm like, you know what? I think I'm just going to let sleeping dogs lie because, anytime I tell these guys that my own feelings are as, well, such, they seem to have a problem. They seem to have a problem when I go, yeah, that's when they seem to really, really, truly have a problem. And so I just let sleeping dogs lie, and I moved onward and, just let them have their little, we're taking this picture off. All right, take the picture off. In my heart of hearts, what I probably should have done is I should have taken the picture, grabbed the screen cap of it, flipped it 180, and then reposted it up on there. Something like, Mark Zuckerberg having a good day at work. He's twisting his own nipples or something. Dude, pull up the link I posted. Link you posted. I guess that would be Callie. That's going to be on your website, I guess. I'm sorry, on your Facebook. Well, let's see what we got here. So let's see, Callie. I always do that. I type into the wrong thing, man. Let's see. Scrolly. Oh, you're talking about the red-headed, long-haired guy having the conversation between leftists, sharing what they think about freedom of speech. Was it that one? In chat. Oh, in chat. Okay. Okay. Well, you sent me something in chat. I'm not seeing it. No, it's a drink. Okay, I don't see it in chat either. Patriot Fever just said he didn't see it. I don't see it. So I don't know what's going on there, whether it's a drink or it could be a drink or something we should drink. I don't know. Right now, I'm just drinking iced tea, okay? So I'm staying a little safe in that regard. It's a drink. I don't see it, man. I don't see it. Foosball is the devil and water boys. Oh, jeez. Yeah, foods can be a little bit naughty. Damn Google censoring. Yeah, look up the graveyard drink. Graveyard drink. Okay. That's a new one on me, dude. Graveyard drink. All right, so let me see what we got here. Graveyard drink. Oh, the graveyard. Let's see here. Graveyard drink recipe. Basically, it sounds like a Long Island iced tea, really. Quarter ounce of triple sec, quarter ounce of rum, quarter ounce of vodka, quarter ounce of gin, quarter ounce of tequila, quarter ounce of bourbon whiskey, a quarter ounce of scotch. Mix the liquor in a beer mug in equal amounts. Top up the rest of the mug with a half beer and half stout. Oh, dude. Holy crap. And I drink those with half shots. Dang. Just dang. Man, that's like a Long Island iced tea with like ass. Oh, man. So mix the liquors in a beer mug in equal amounts. Top up the rest of the mug with a half beer and half stout. Sounds good, but I don't think you drink too many of those. Guys, it's really kind of sad, too, because Texas is like its own animal, if you think about it. They have their own power grid. They have their own oil. They got their own natural gas. They have pretty much, able to do things in which they need to do on their own. And the situation they seem to be facing now is they're having really extreme winter weather. I mean, like they're getting their butts handed to them, and they have like major problems with a whole bunch of people that are out of power. Now, what can you do in a situation like that? Well, obviously you would wish to have probably a propane heater, or you'd wish to have some other forms of, like power. You want to have something in terms of a backup. I mean, obviously, you should at the very least, you really truly should have some battery backups for your phones and what have you, so you're not completely hosed in terms of any form of ability to do things. You want to have them, obviously you want to have them charged, because if they're not charged, they're not worthy. They're not going to do anything that's going to look kind of pretty when you're not trying to use them because they don't work. But these things are obviously cheap. The battery backups now, I mean, I got like one that's like some insanely huge. I think it's like 20,000 milliamps or something. It's just ridiculous. I think this one's like 10. So anytime you have something like that, of course, have really power hungry phones that eat a lot. You got to be really careful in that regard. And also, truthfully, you also necessitate the fact that you also want to have other ways, of course, lighting your place. You want to have other ways of, obviously heating your place. Well, what can you do in a situation that's quick and dirty and obviously will work with minimal amounts of just crap? I mean, it just basically just turns on and works. Well, you could probably use one of these guys. This is a 100-hour emergency candle that runs on basically liquid paraffin. I think it's probably like a deodorized kerosene, to tell you the truth. But essentially what you have here is you're basically in a situation where, you're trying to keep an area not too terribly, cold or not too terribly dark. Something like this could work in a smaller enclosure. You have a couple of these guys going. Obviously, it's going to make some heat. The only downside, of course, is all your heat's going to go up. So you need some way to get the heat back down. Obviously, I would probably want to put this in a smaller enclosure, keep you in a smaller enclosure. And obviously, you'll have some heat cranking out of these things. Now, you got to have some way to light it. Lighters are cool and all, but they don't really work good in very cold temperatures. They just don't. Butane doesn't flow good. Propane doesn't really work good in cold temperatures. Obviously, when the flints bust up, you're screwed. That's why I like the piezoelectric lighters for exactly that reason. Is they really tend to work on pretty much all occasions. But obviously, old tech still works good. I mean, matches. I mean, I was getting like these guys, and it's like these packages of small wooden matches. They're like $1 a piece. So I got scads of these little boogers now, and I have an obvious lighting source just in case, and I know it's going to work for 100 hours. Also, the nice thing is I don't have wax running everywhere. When it comes time to put it out, basically put something over this and smothers it out. Put the cover back on the wick. The wick's protected. Obviously, you got a gas gauge. You can tell how much fuel you got left in this thing. They're not cheap. I mean, these things are like about $5 or $6, but for 100 hours of use, it kind of pays off. The other thing too is also they really don't go bad. So you can have this thing. You can have this thing standing by and buy a couple of matches in terms of these guys. And I like the wooden matches for one very good reason is the cardboard matches. It's like you seem to bend those a little bit and it zips right up and it fries your finger. The wooden matches take a longer time to climb up and actually burn your finger. That's one of the reasons why I like the wooden matches. Also, the other trick of the trade is if you take these guys and you have a candle going and you have a pool of wax and you dip these guys in the wax and makes it burn a lot longer and hotter. So if you do that trick and you have some wax on the wooden matches, they will hold you in good stead. Obviously have, candles and type of stuff like that. All good things to have happen. I mean, this is it's old technology, but it still works. Basically, for all intents and purposes, what that is that's the modern iteration of a kerosene lantern without something to turn the wick up and down. Okay, it's not new science. It's just simply a new execution of old ways. All good stuff to have. Let's see. Looking over here. CLU, dude, appreciate you coming on by, man. Propane's been selling out quietly for months now at Walmart and Lowe's. Well, the bulk tanks of propane are really, yeah, I mean, they've been selling out like crazy. The little baby bud cans, or, you know, the basically the torch size of propane will work exactly the same. There's no great science to it. Basically, just screw it into the holder, light it off. It does exactly the same thing. I mean, you know, it's really not recommended to run a propane torch indoors because it's such a dirty combustion. But yeah, if you're desperate for heat, it will warm an area up. Probably you want to have one of those heater buddies. Probably you want to have like an actual dedicated propane heater. The other dirty little secret is a lot of those times those adapters just, you know, you screw it onto the bottle, you screw it into the thing. If it runs you for a night for $5 or $6, well, you're still a lot warmer than you were previously for no matter how much money that you're going to spend that you didn't have any propane for. So yeah, all these things come into play, and they can definitely, you know, keep you running and gunning. And probably what you really want to do is you want to segregate one room. You want to have the one room as the room that you're trying to keep warm. Because every time you're opening and closing the door, you're letting in cold air, you're letting out warm air. But if you keep that one room warmer, you're going to be better off than trying to heat the whole house. Unless you have, like, you know, a wood stove and like cords of wood out back, and, you know, you're stockpiled for these kind of situations. Yeah, obviously those would be the really, truly can't make things work that don't want to work. Case in point, I mean, I have a fireplace in my other room. It's a gas fireplace. It needs electricity to function. So yeah, obviously it does have gas, but it needs electricity to work. Kind of a half measure thing, but you know what? I still can find ways to warm up the inside of my house. I mean, obviously, you make an alcohol stove, you have candles, you know, there's other ways to warm places up. Obviously, I'm going to be really screwed because, like, my range in my house is an electric gas range. Well, if you have a camping stove and you have Coleman fuel, you know, you basically set that up in the garage. You do your cooking in the garage. You bring the stuff inside. You know, when it comes time to worry about like fresh air, you know, you just crack the garage door, have some fresh air moving through. You'll be fine. But you don't want to be cooking inside your house with a Coleman stove. That's a lot of combustion process products you don't want to have indoors. Oh, it's safe to do these things. I've been doing it for years. Well, you know what? You can do that in your house. I'm not doing it in my house. Coleman fuel, I don't mind the smell, but it is pervasive, okay? It is the way it is. Let's see. Scrolly. Long Island with ass. Yeah, that's one. Yep. That's it. Definitely there, Callie. Small candle in a terracotta pot, which is another planter on top. Yeah, I've seen that trick before, where you basically you basically like stack like basically like pottery, and you use the candle to warm up the pottery, and then the pottery becomes a radiant heater. I mean, that's a really, really cool idea. I've seen them done before with like tea candles, you know, those little flat candles that they put in like the lights on your your table when you're out dining. And those candles can be actually grabbed up really, really cheap if you go on Amazon. And again, it's something else that doesn't go bad. It's something you can have around forever. So you might want to do such things. Wind power, the Patriot ass laughingly with AOC inflections. Indeed. Stack 3 candles under the pot. You can heat a room for a day. Yes, dude, definitely. I just use a biodiesel generator, Patriot Fever says. Patriot Fever says, nice PF. Yeah, it's called a John Deere 4020 on a PTO generator. Oh, man. Russians hang rugs on their walls to insulate. Most heat will kill you with carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide. Does not smell, and you just go to sleep. Little Buddy is one of the few heaters you can use indoors. Well, I actually have one of those kind of cool smoke detectors. Excuse me 1 second. I got one of those kind of cool smoke detectors. Literally, you buy the smoke detector, it runs for 10 years, you pitch it. It is a carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, carbon whatever offset sensor. But basically what it is, it's a smoke detector, carbon monoxide sensor. So if anything's going screwy, it's going to scream and it's going to go, carbon monoxide, beep, beep, carbon monoxide, beep, beep. Hello, wake up, dumbass, you're being gassed. So, yeah, that's kind of one of those cool things is the newer technology's improved so much, and obviously sound chips are cheap. So, I mean, that's one of the other dirty little secrets about technology nowadays. It is ridiculous to say that you need, like, a massive chip to do anything. Most times you're doing something with anything electronic, it's over processed. Like I actually heard one guy, he came up with a theory. And he said if he networked all the equipment in your house, where you like your coffee maker, your microwave, all these technologies, and you multiplex them, you would basically have a small computer. Because when they build these things, it's like they have something that has like, this much a requirement, but they put in this much processor ability. So they go with the better chips. So that's kind of like the way it's working nowadays is they just have so much technology involved in things that it's ridiculous. I mean, it's like, case in point, I mean, like your standard smartphone nowadays, we would have killed for a laptop that did half the stuff that a phone does nowadays. We would have killed for a home computer that does half the stuff that a smartphone does nowadays. And the other thing, too, is also the technology is such as that it's really hard to make it outdated. I mean, this thing is a Note 9. What do you got? Note 10 and S20. Are they really that much better than the previous? Not really. I mean, they still pretty much make phone calls. They still pretty much do the higher technology stuff. They still run apps. There's really not a whole hell of a lot of difference. I mean, they just do stuff, okay? Somebody's messaging me. Somebody's messaging me. Oh, jeez. One of my friends. Anyway, so they really overbuilt technology and all that stuff is now on board. And I don't know if you guys heard the news story or not, but there's now been a shortage of semiconductors. Read like computer chips. And I don't know why they're shortcoming because pretty much you just make them. You turn on the machine, you make the chips, you pretty much box them up, you ship them out. You're in China, you're in Taiwan, you're in over Silicon Valley in California. I mean, you can crank out silicon semiconductors pretty quick. But there's been a major shortcoming that actually was such that Ford had to shut down for a few days. And I think it actually might be more than a few days because they didn't have the chips to build the trucks and cars. Whoops. I mean, like, you need that much computing power to actually physically build a car. Wow. That's kind of daunting to think that you need that much technology to make a modern car run. Now, I was talking to one of the techs, and we were talking like the infotainment machine. He goes, "Oh yeah, essentially all that really is just a tablet. It's an Android tablet that they hook into the car, and the car basically interfaces with it. And like, it's an Android tablet." He goes, "Yeah, essentially that's all it is. We reflash stuff. We just plug the car into our computer. We say, hey man, this, that, and the other thing. Now you're not going to work appropriately. This, that, and the other thing. Beep, 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 boop." Like one of the things I had to have done to it was there was a flutter. The way that the torque converter was locking up, it was like engaging and disengaging, almost like it was floating like a BMW M3 clutch. And the technology was such as that it basically just needed a reflash. It needed to have an upgrade. So when they did a transmission flush, there was actually a TSB, so a technical service bulletin about needing to reflash the transmission. So after they did that, it drove normally. Before they did that, it was kind of sketching out. And the thing is mine is a 2016, which is like one of the first model years of the new body style. So apparently it got down the assembly line before they said, hey, we got to fix the transmission. And that's kind of the way it is working nowadays. Is a lot of times you have something sketching up on your car. Essentially, you take it to the dealership, they plug it in, and it goes, well, you need to work like this and not like that. If you do this, stop doing that. And I don't know how many of you guys know this one about like Windows 10, but there's like that ghost in the machine thing going on with Windows 10 where they took like pieces of the old just lines of code and they said, okay, plug that in here, boop, plug these other lines of code in here, boop. Win 10 has like 1 million lines of code. There's no human being that has read from 001 start, run, whatever, gone through all those lines of code and seen like all the different branches and everything going everywhere to make the computer actually out, and we got to fix this and tack this in to address that. Same thing with your car. Well, if there's so much technology on board that you have to have the computer work in the first place, that's stuff that can really sketch up and go completely kablooey in the worst of times. In my heart of hearts, what I'd love to have is I'd love to have a Toyota Tacoma with a Volkswagen 1.9 primitive, read like mechanical fuel injection turbo, because there's not really a whole hell of a lot that goes wrong with those engines, short of just needing to change out the timing belt or changing out the fuel water separator, stuff like that. But am I actually ever going to build one? I don't know. I might actually hope to find one and, basically snap it up for the guy because he's like, I just can't live with this car anymore. I just want something better. Okay, sure, cool, yeah, whatever. But built-in obsolescence and the built-in technology sometimes can really hose you. Let me look over here in the room. Let's see. Dollar store often has the real big religious candles in the glass tower type enclosure. Guess how much they cost? I would say probably $1 there, CLU. What do paper bags of flaming dog crap rank? Oh, jeez. No, they cost $1 at the dollar store. Dude, tell Nasty Nancy to FO. Yeah, I would love to. Training issues on the new body style. It was just they needed to address a slow speed cruise. I think it was like between 35 and like 43 miles an hour. It would just start floating the converter because it was like, do I stay locked up? Do I unlock? Do I stay locked up? Do I unlock? Now, the other thing too is also that model year has got a pretty invasive economy mode. I mean, you kind of have to be a little aggressive if you really want it to move. If you're just barely floating the throttle, it'll be 400 RPM on the upshifts. It's very, very easy to keep that thing like almost like bogging. Very, very easy. Very, very easy to keep that thing down in low reps. Let's see. Gator Red, appreciate you coming by, dude. Back in 2010, a car by Ford had like 20 separate computers in the car. I got a new 2016. Someone messed with the trans. I had to pay over $400 to flush the trans and reprogram the trans. Fixed. Shut odd warning ice. I don't get that part. Patriot Fever. Or an 87 Silverado with a 454 to 410 rear end. Oh, dude, you're going to be screaming in a 410 rear. Holy crap, man. Years ago, a buddy of mine had a old Chevelle, like 69, I think it was. And it was literally the T10 4-speed transmission. So it was a 350 4-bolt main T10 transmission. So basically the 4-speed tranny, 411 rear. And that car was quick. I mean, from bang, 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 banging shifts, it was actually a very quick car. The problem, though, is once you get on the highway and you're at like 60 miles an hour, 65 miles an hour, you're like, it's tacking like about 3,800 RPM, and then you go to pass somebody and you do 70 and it's going, I mean, before you know it, the car's tapped out like about $1.05 and it's just screaming its guts out because the 410 is just so tall a gear, or maybe 411s. But it was such a tall rear end that the thing was just like screaming on the highways. Now, the actual transmission setup on my Pilot is actually a 6-speed automatic. The gear ratio on the 425 diff. So that's actually really, really tall. But the gearing on the transmission is such, and it has such a deep overdrive that I'm cruising like 70 miles an hour, and it's like 2,200 RPM, maybe 2,000. It's a really deep overdrive. That thing just putts along. I did notice though on a long drive, I took a Uber ride, or was it? No, it was a Lyft ride. I'm sorry. I had a Lyft ride. I took somebody up to Brooklyn, New York, and so from Baltimore to Brooklyn, New York, and I made good time going up. I was basically doing like 75, 80 the whole ride. And I was watching my gas mileage. And I was averaging about like 21, maybe 21 and a half, in the downhills and whatnot. And on the way back, I was like, let me try an experiment because I was trying to run the whole tank up there and back. And so I got turned around. I was coming back. It's like, let me drop it down to 65 and see what that does. In the process of dropping 10 miles an hour in my cruise speed, running on the cruise control and hitting the green econ button both times, going back, I actually got it up to like 24, almost 24 and a half miles per gallon by going down only 10 miles per hour. So it really makes a difference on an SUV. Passenger car, maybe not so much, but on an SUV, cruise speed means gas mileage. Good stuff like that. Dash gives warning on the dash. Flash, ice might be slippery or buckle up. When it starts talking to me, I shut off and go back to bed. Well, dude, I can drive. Let me put it in perspective. When it's cruddy out, when it's really, really cruddy out, I can drive my Pilot with, stability control. Hello, it's getting slippery out. I can drive most times with that thing almost flashing constantly because I know my limits and I know pretty much where the truck is going to start sliding and where I need to back off. But the technology is such that sometimes it takes away, don't you crazy in the turns. And the first thing basically switches power, it applies braking. And the next thing it does, it goes, whoa, and basically cuts engine power. So the old technology is it used to just cut engine power. The new technology is it'll do acceleration and braking and differential stuff and, all those good things to try to get you squared away. And then it reduces power because you're going too crazy and it doesn't want to deal with your stupidity any longer. Let's see. For measuring gallons per mile. Well, yeah, dude, that's exactly what I do. Gallons per mile. Okay, Patriot Fever. What are you driving? An M1 Abrams? Oh, I'm doing only 7 gallons per mile, but I'm getting some really good desecration and destruction in the process. Jeez. I won't make it past the next gas station. Alcor can suck a fuel nozzle. Yeah, dude, you pass everybody but the gas station. Wow. All right, so looking at things as we were looking at the 10 o'clock time period. Appreciate you guys' kind attention. You guys hung out with me, and you get a gold star for attendance. Do be sure to check out my friends over at Around the Cabin, aroundthecabin.com, aroundthecabin.com for buy, sell, trade, Around the Cabin news, aroundthecabin.com, aroundthecabin.com/campfire. Still waiting for Rich to get that thing back up and, kicking hard and doing the good stuff like that there. Of course, you guys are watching me on YouTube, on 80s Podcast channel. Of course, you're watching me on Facebook. Dude Jerky 2. I'm on Twitter. It's 80SPCC. You guys have many other places to go, but you hung out with me tonight, and I appreciate your kind attentions. I'll give you 2 gold stars. What the hell? I'll give you 2 gold stars. All right. So 2 gold stars. Okay. Usually I do 1, but special case. I'll give you 2. What the hell? All right. So I'm gonna break up this one. You guys have a good one. And EQ Kip Tendering, as always, you know you love it. And I'll catch you guys next week, or unless I post up another video. I might put up the What Would Do video, the answer to the What Would Stoner Do video. If it crashes and burns, it's an hour-long video where I'm building my version of the What Would Stoner Do project. Okay? Catch you guys on the flip side. Have a good one, and eat good, keep tendering as always. You know it, you love it. See you guys.